See you guys in the bush.
Getting out of Washington State.
Brent, what is your prediction for the Grunt Proof SERE Challenge 2022?
Hey!
Roger HQ. Scott, stand with that.
Yeah, I read you, Lima Charlie,
Okay.
a little bit of static over.
HQ, this is Hunter. Stand by.
Who's going to survive this year's SERE Challenge?
I'm coming for you. Brent out.
We're not gonna give up.
What's up, bro?
How you doing, man?
Nice to meet you, man.
Full 24 hours, we'll have a little reset, very limited rest, and go into the next one.
Both contestants are under the assumption that we are not beginning until tomorrow morning.
Your team saver.
Dude, get out of the buggy! Keep your hands up! Stop! Get on your knees! Get on your knees!
Alrighty, we are live. What is going on, grunts? So we are doing a live chat with the contestants of SERE Challenge Season 2. I've also got the one and only Stokermatic here with me. Just going to kind of go over the first episode. You guys can ask them some direct questions. We're not going to give up any secret information, but we'll get into some stuff. So let's welcome everybody to the party. There's our two contestants, Brent and Jared. And we got Stokermatic. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, man.
So let me tell everybody, as the contestants, last year, I actually let the contestants watch the videos as I made them. So you guys viewing them, I didn't let you guys watch any of them. Stoker's the only one that kind of helped me out with the background part of it. So as the contestants, I know it's only the first episode. We're just getting warmed up. What's it kind of look like for you guys? We'll start with Brent.
I thought it was interesting. I had my whole family who sat on the couch watched for the first time. So it's cool being shocked and surprised at what's in the initial episode. I think I could probably speak for everybody. And like when it ended, you're like, no, I want to see what happens next. Even though we lived it, you know?
Yeah. All right, Jared, what you got, man?
Yeah, I mean, we've been anxiously waiting for this for months now. So when it finally drops like this, it's the anxiousness really puts it in there, and we just want to see more.
All right. Yeah. So, it's kind of a introduction episode. I want to show everybody, show off some of the toys and kind of tease it a little bit. And, give people a cliffhanger. So, it's a series. And I think people that actually, are into this and are going to enjoy the series, if they watch the last one, I think the next episode is when it's going to kick off and hopefully going to blow some socks off. So here we got a question already. Brent, did you get your jacket back?
Yeah. So, and I don't think you guys can really put this in perspective. on like how this all went down. Like I had got up super early. I had a pretty early flight, and you guys remember I'm in Central Time Zone. We're going to California, which is Pacific Time Zone, which is 2 hours behind us. So I had already gotten up early. My flight was delayed, I think like twice, so it left late. And then when I got to San Francisco International Airport, it was still like a 4-hour commute to get up into the mountains. So by the time I got there, I had been up all day traveling and stuff like that. And then, they give me freaking 2 hot dogs and some beers to crack open and, completely oblivious to what's going on. And Jared and all of them, they prefaced everything, great. They were like, hey, put on what you're going to be wearing for the SERE challenge. We got to do a brief with you because you have a special mission. So, like we don't want the camera footage to look all weird. So put on what you're going to be wearing for the actual challenge. And, I'm thinking in my head, like, yeah, I guess that makes sense, but, and I'm also thinking in my head, like, do I need to put my base layer on? Because, I mean, it's just for camera, recording. It's a good thing I did. Because, as you guys can see, when I got captured, I had that M65 field jacket on with a liner and everything. And then when they captured me, they made me take that jacket off right away. And all I had was my camis and the base layer on. And Jared even put the temperature, I think it was like 33 degrees or something like that, just above freezing. That's all I had was that base layer and my utilities. And that's not enough for those tips. So.
Yeah. So there's another question. I was happy when so let's see, how could we preface this? There was an item one of our bad guys took from you when he was searching you. And I think that was cool because it was the perfect setup to show that nothing was staged.
Yeah, so I was carrying, guys. I had a loaded firearm on me. So yeah. So, that part where they're like pistol, that was real.
All right. So Jared, we kind of separated you guys. I saw some of your video you caught from my porch. That's a lesson learned right there. But we'll get into this later. But did you know something was going down that night, or did you hear the ruckus and come out and start shooting?
Well, first of all, I was from the time I walked onto your property, and I was super suspicious of everybody there. I was expecting anything to happen at any time, and I just was super suspicious. You kind of start to relax after a while. But no, whenever you guys were abducting Brent down there at the bottom of the driveway, I just happened to walk outside and heard all the commotion. So I just kind of stumbled across that. So I grabbed my phone, went back inside, grabbed my phone, and recorded it. Figured it'd be some good footage for you if you wanted to use it or whatever. But I really stumbled across that by accident, and I heard you guys down there.
All right, here's an interesting question. This was the running gag the whole time. So are you ready to be labeled as potential terrorists? So we talked about it the whole time. We're out there in this remote area. There's like vacation houses and some nefarious stuff going on out there. So the running joke was there's a bunch of feds operating in the area, which may be incorporated into one of the future seasons. But Stoker, you were the one, you were the main bad guy. So did you have any concerns like with, exposing yourself, being a bad guy, with a gun and showing your dark side?
Showing your
Or I guess it was your
no.
nice side. I mean, if people don't know you.
Yeah, that's true. The area and moving around at night, like I had no with the AO the way it is, folks coming in and around of the state where we're at is now closer to where Brent having its own SERE. But on that, Well, fucking China, uh, whatever. I think everybody should be concerned about. Should happen.
All right. So let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, if I can just dime in here. So when they captured me, it was like that scene. If you guys seen that old movie, Spies Like Us, with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, I think is Dan Aykroyd. Anyways, Spies Like Us, where they drop them they parachute into the middle of the woods, and then it's pitch black, and then all the spotlights come on around you, like that's what it looked like. And I think if anybody had been just like happened to be passing by and saw that, I mean, it I mean, I don't know what you would think elsewise, right? It looked like some sort of like terrorist takedown, or some sort of like Fed takedown or something. So anybody that wasn't involved with this, if they had seen, us driving down the road in a truck, and like there's me blindfolded with a freaking pillowcase on my head and hand flexi cuffed, any bystander that was driving by that would have seen that would. I mean, what else would you have thought? So it was pretty legit, guys.
Yeah. So this was the new take. The first season we pulled a lot of punches just to make sure some crucial things went right. But you coming into it, we had a lot of inside jokes about you coming out there, especially to that area, which again may be incorporated into future seasons. We might capture guys at the airport or make them walk down the street or some cool shit. But so what were you? I know when you seemed kind of on edge, and you seemed like you were, suspecting stuff. Like Jared was on edge the whole time. So when did you actually ever get comfortable? Did we totally fool you, or were you always suspecting something and we just, you were like, all right, I'll go with it?
So I didn't know exactly when the challenge was going to start. In the back of my head, I pictured me getting woken up in like the wee hours of the morning, and then like you guys dragging me out of the rack, and it's starting like that. So like in the back of my head, I was like, well, crap, maybe I need to go to sleep with all my my gear on. Like I was trying to formulate all this. But when I got there and they're like, oh yeah, you hungry? Here, freaking have 2 hot dogs and coleslaw, and start feeding me Coors Light beers, and like 2 beers in, I'm like, yeah, I guess we're good. This will start, I'm sure, in the morning. So and then you took me to the second location, and then I get a whole nother brief, which it really didn't get explained in the video, but the second brief was different than the first brief we got. The first brief was kind of explaining like the game and like the rules and survival type stuff. And then the second brief I got was like more mission specific. Like, hey, you're not just tasked with getting from point A to point B, survivor task. You're tasked with conducting a reconnaissance mission of this area, and then your extraction point is going to be essentially where the end point was, right? So it all made sense. So in my mind, I'm like, I knew that things were going to be different from the first season. So it all made sense. Like, okay, so this is what they're going to put into the new challenge. It's like I have a mission. I'm not just trying to make it from point A to point B. I have to get to this area, check it out. Maybe there's something there I got to, record and figure out. And then I got to make it to the end point. And I was like, that's kind of cool that they're, because Jared from the get-go was telling us, hey, we're changing it up. It's going to be a lot harder. So this made it harder, and it all made sense. When I got in that Kubota to go back to, the other location, I was like, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, and so that kind of comes down to the whole like process. I don't know how they do the type of course I went to. Like I did an MTT course in Germany, and they tailored it specific to like our upcoming deployment, but that was the whole setup. They were telling us the whole time, you got a SERE portion coming up, you're going to get captured, you're going to do interrogation, all the SERE stuff, and they would give us classes on it and keep warning us about it, but we didn't know when it was going to happen. And the sniper course is 3 weeks long, even the one I did. And so they tease it and teach classes and everything and build it up, but you get comfortable, and then they're like, all right, you guys got a mission tomorrow, so we're thinking we're going to go out and do sniper skills. And that's exactly how they did it. They I mean, we're in a classroom, but that's how they threw us off. They're like, you need to be here for this mission brief in your freaking PT uniforms. So we're like, okay, cool. And so that's, just one of the tricks they got us. Like, Stoker and I are building the future events and stuff, and we're working on ways to catch guys off guard. But that's kind of the whole point. It's part of like the shock and awe and everything, because you're coming out there, something's happening. And, Stoker mentioned, and it didn't make it into the first season, but he was talking about not trusting anybody, even me as the HQ guy, because we were kind of switching roles every now and then. He's like, I don't know who I can freaking trust. So, but let's see. Let's get to some more questions. Jared, you got anything to throw in, man?
No, I've been telling Brent. I was creeping on him quite a bit, but I was also creeping on your channel and on Bill's channel. And I remember one of the videos you did a while back, Randall, about your SERE course and how they put you in the back of a truck, and you and another guy actually escaped from the truck, and they were telling you, hey, this isn't part of the course or everything, and you're like, screw you, we're out of here. And you went off and did your SERE portion of it that night, I guess it was. But so I spent the 6 months from the time you said I was coming out to when I got out there, just watching Brent's channel, your channel, and Stoker's channel, just constantly, all the time, just trying to get into each one of your heads and see how you guys think and operate and whatnot. So in doing so, I got into my head, and I was super paranoid about everything. I was suspecting you guys were going to have booby traps out there and tripwires and trip flares and all this other high tech stuff. And it wasn't quite like that, but I was still super suspicious the whole time I was there, getting ready for Brent to get out there, and I just didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah. So here's a follow-up question for you, Jared. I'll put it up on the screen. Can you read that? You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead and read it. I can't see it on my phone.
Yeah. What was your rucking routine? In the video, you talked about rucking to prepare to come out there for the physical side of the challenge. So what was your rucking routine before the SERE challenge? Distance, weight, time?
I would usually do about 30 pounds in my pack. I have an LB pack and an Alice pack, and I would change it up between those two. I work a tremendous amount in my everyday job, so for me to have the extra time was really difficult for me to get. So I would go out maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and do a couple miles. I live on a cul-de-sac type road. So I can walk up and down the road here. It's a real quiet neighborhood. I can walk up and down the road here pretty easily and freely. And everybody on the road here is pretty much law enforcement or military. So they don't give me too many odd looks or anything. But no, I would try to do at least 2 miles, 3 miles, a couple times a week. I wish I could have done more. But it just couldn't happen with my everyday life.
All right, here's a good one. So, were there any encounters with wildlife, coyotes, rattlesnakes, mountain lions? So, not yet. All that stuff is out there, especially bears and mountain lions. But Brent had some interesting concerns, not being from that area, not used to it. So it came up in the group a lot. I wish I would have taken more screenshots. So Jared mentioned doing his recon before coming out there. So Brent, what were you kind of looking at before actually getting out there?
So it's funny because after the event was all over, and I'm sure this will come up again as we get into later episodes. But Jared and I both were doing reconnaissance. Jared actually did way more reconnaissance than I did, but Randall had sent out a PDF to us. It's kind of like a, hey, welcome aboard kind of package, like and it had like almost like a 5-paragraph order in it. In it, he had some screenshots of the area and everything. No, it had the address. I think it was. So I had put the address into Google Earth and had zoomed in, and then I went back and looked at the first season and at some of the pictures, right, and like where they were showing. And I had kind of mapped out the AO just to kind of see what I was up against. And I knew they were going to change stuff up, but I didn't have the illusion that they were going to use the same like areas again. But I just wanted to see what the AO looked like and where it was, and just kind of have something visual in my head on like where mountain ranges were and stuff. But here's the thing, guys, like you saw, I was snatched in the middle of the night, and you'll see in season 2. And I'm not trying to give any secrets away, but like, I had no idea where the fuck I was. So, all that stuff I did, preparatory fires, was essentially all for nothing because it made no difference on how everything went down. In terms of like wildlife and stuff, I watch Randall's channel pretty frequently, and I remember he posted this freaking picture of, I think it was like a goat or something that just got completely mauled by a mountain lion. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, like what the fuck is out there? Because, we're not going to be armed. That was how it was in season 1. They said like, hey, no, the survivor does not have a gun for safety issues. We don't need him shooting the hunter, thinking that the hunter is like some sort of animal. So it's like, I knew I wasn't going to be armed. And it's like, here's Randall posting up all these pictures of just mountain lions, like mauling his freaking, wildlife or his livestock and stuff. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah, there's definitely oh, I killed Brent. There he is. Yeah, there's some stuff out there. Being from Mississippi, we have our wildlife, things that'll kill you. Like you guys have similar stuff in Texas, but getting used to what's out there in the mountains is it's definitely another thing. But so we'll get into this after the other episodes, but that'll be cool to hear y'all's thoughts while you're actually out there on the ground talking about this stuff like safety and all that. We'll get into that stuff, but so Bill, you want to throw in something? Get a live test on you.
Can you hear me all right now?
Yeah.
Is it still choppy?
It's delayed. We hear you though.
Okay, well, awesome. So I had experience concern about wild. I think the time of year, and certainly, I'm coming across the road, and I remember taking pictures, showing that to Brent.
Yeah. All right. Stoker's out there freaking Rambo off grid. That's probably if I tried to stream from Starlink right now. I'm gonna have to try that one day. Yeah, so I mean that's all I got. We can look at some more questions, and I didn't want to make this too long, especially since it's the first episode. So Brent, we're gonna get into your thoughts once you're captured. I'm sure people know that's coming, but let people know, like, so we talked about you being surprised. We actually caught you off guard. That's cool. So what were your thoughts? Like we caught you off guard. What was going through your mind throughout this entire capture process as the truck, and then up till when the truck rolled away?
Well, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, when those lights came on, I'm like, obviously I know it's part of the thing, but I'm just like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like they're starting this now. So, the first thing in my mind is like, hey, when do I escape? But, also what's going through my mind is like, I have no freaking idea where I'm at. Like even if I were to escape, where do I go? Right. I don't have any equipment. I don't have a compass. I don't have a radio. I don't have any survival gear. I didn't have anything. So like, as you said in the show, like now was not the time to escape, because even if I were to escape, I have no bearing on where the hell I am. And, it's freaking 32 degrees or 33 degrees, whatever it was. And, I've got no way to, build shelter or fire or anything. Like, I don't know where I'm at. It's pitch black. There's like zero loom outside. So honestly, the best Koa in that situation was just like, hey, figure it out, weather it, and look for an opportunity to escape later. But like I said, it was completely off guard. You guys set it up extremely well, and once all that unfolded, it was like, oh, okay, this bitch is starting right now. Was not expecting it. It's ball game. Let's roll. So.
Yeah. All right. And so, yeah, again, Jared was kind of just hanging out and doing his own thing. So I'm glad we separated you guys as much as we could. But so we can tease that a little bit. Jared, once you heard the commotion, what was kind of your mindset when you realized? Because I told everybody we're starting at like 6 or 6:30 the next morning. So once you saw Brent getting going through that stuff, and you're sitting up there pretty much alone at my place. I don't know what the hell you were doing up there all night, but what's kind of going through your mind as you're kind of seeing from the distance stuff going on?
Well, first thing I thought was, well, that sucks for Brent. Sorry, dude. But no, I don't think I slept but maybe an hour that night. I think I might have had like 3 hours sleep for the next 3 days, because I was just so paranoid about everything. Didn't know when things were going to go down, how they were going to go down. When Brent was told to take his jacket off there in the show, in the video, you could just see the defeat in his face. It just kind of waved over him. I thought that was kind of funny. But no, just super paranoid about everything, because we just didn't know how things were gonna go back down, and when things were gonna start. And I don't want to give away too much more for the next episode coming out, but I did have a little bit of downtime up there, which was bad because I got into my head even more about the whole thing.
Yeah. All right, man. So you guys got anything else to say? We'll give people a chance. This is last chance to dance. Throw in your comments. So the next episode starts same day, Sunday at 1500 Central Standard Time, America time, and that'll be the second episode where shit kind of gets going, and we'll do another live stream to go over that one as long as the contestants are willing. So final thoughts from you guys, and then we'll get to some more questions if they pop up. Brent.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, kind of preface, when I packed my stuff for this, I knew the temperatures were going to be in like the very low 30s. So I was planning on having like, hey, a base layer, and then my utilities. But under those utilities, I also had, a 100% wool Marine Corps woolly pulley surface sweater. Also had a grid fleece. Like these were all warming layers. Like I was planning on taking with me for when the sun went down and stuff like that. And like when I, and I wasn't planning on taking that M65 out in the field. I just threw that on for the brief. And then, when they told me to like, hey, take that off, the thing that's going through my head is great. It is freaking cold out here. You guys can't even it was cold. That's all I'm going to say. Being up in the mountains, And those temps right there, and I'm coming from freaking Texas where it was like 80 degrees, guys. So it's like my body's not conditioned for the temperature. It's not conditioned for the atmosphere, any of that stuff. Being in the high altitude and everything, and it's kicking off right away. And when I took that M65 field jacket off, I'm like, first thing that's going to my mind is, God damn it! All I have is this base layer and cami blouse, and that's it. And it is freaking in the low 30s right now. So it was pretty brutal.
Yeah, see, that's why I call myself a bad video YouTuber guy, because I should have had my camera rolling when you called me the day before. Brent called me, we chatted for an hour, maybe 2 hours, and he had a million questions about stuff he could bring out and what snivel gear he could wear and all this. And I'm kind of going over the rules like, yeah, is a survivor? No, can't use that, can't use that, can't use that. And so we'll get into the stuff that I bummed him out as a hunter next time. But yeah, it was pretty much like I had to kind of keep it a little cryptic. But yeah, Brent was seeing I kept sharing the temperatures that were showing up. I mean, it got cold eventually, but before you guys came out, it was down to like low 20s. And yeah, Brent was the most unhappy about that. You got something else, Brent?
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, and you said this earlier. I don't remember if it was like a community post or a video or something. It's like, people that live up in like North Dakota, for instance, they'll think like, oh, 30 degrees, I go out in shorts and flip flops. Well, no shit, dude. You're freaking conditioned to that, environment. Like when I go up and train at Winter Forge, living in the field for 3 or 4 days, like by the second or third day, like, yeah, we're almost boots and utes in the bivouac site, because your body has that opportunity to like get acclimatized to those conditions. But when you're coming from North Texas, when it's like 75, 80 degrees, and then you go up in the mountains and all of a sudden the temperature is freaking 3 degrees, like that's a big drastic change. And it's hard for the human body to adjust that quickly if you're not living in those type of conditions on a daily basis.
Yeah, so that question that's popped up, there will be some loadout kind of explanations what they actually get. I beat myself up for that as soon as the first season went up. I was like, damn it, guys want to see gear. So that's going to be coming in the future episodes, guys. You'll get to see everything, mostly everything both contestants carried, because there's a lot of equipment behind it. So Jared, you got something else, man?
No, I kind of had the same situation that Brent did here in Virginia. Up until the day before I came out there, it was like 75, 80 degrees. And I'm out of my everyday job. I'm out there sweating. And I knew it was going to be a lot colder out there where you guys are in California. And I was a little worried about being acclimated. And finally, I think it was the day before, that Saturday before I left, the temperature finally dropped here to where it was getting down into the low 30s at night and in the 50s during the day. But that was only 1, maybe 2 days worth of that. So I really didn't have a chance to get acclimated to it. And I brought very minimal stuff out with me. I brought the pair of clothes, my civvies that I wore on the plane on the way out and on the way back home. And I brought 1 pair of camis and a base layer and a Gore-Tex jacket with a liner, which I didn't really use. And then, of course, just my other little essential stuff. Everything I brought with me, I put in an assault pack. And it was just a carry on the plane. So I brought very little out there with me as far as clothing, just the basics of what I was going to need out there. And it was cold, but during the day, it wasn't too terrible while we were out there.
So what was the temperatures in Virginia where you were before coming out, Jared?
They were about 70, 75, 80 degrees up until about 2 days before.
Okay, yeah, so you guys were both coming into some pretty cold environments. Good. I like it. All right. Well, unless you guys got something else, we'll wrap this up and we'll bring it back after episode 2 next week, which, as a reminder, will be Sunday, 1500. That's 3 p.m. for most of you people, Central Standard Time. And anybody got anything else?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that the trash talking leading up to the challenge was pretty intense between Jared and I, and that was actually like a psychological warfare game I was trying to play with Jared. I was trying to wig him out. So Grunt Proof put the video, the 2 videos I put, but there was other stuff too. Like Jared had a video of him shoeing his horses, big giant freaking Clydesdale looking horse. And he's just like, oh, it's cute that your little barbell, 200 pounds, blah, 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 but this thing weighs like 800 pounds. It was pretty funny. So there was a lot of trash talking and, psychological stuff going back and forth, trying to wig each other out. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, we had a good time doing that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna put as much of that as I can into the final episode, like the wrap up. That'll be kind of like a B-roll, just showing everybody what was going on behind the scenes, because that was hilarious. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all joining me after this episode. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. So this was streamed to Brent's channel also, I believe. And so everybody joining, this is the main series is at the Grunt Proof YouTube. And so Brent0331 is one of the contestants. If you're not familiar with them. And then Jared, what is your YouTube channel?
2 Alpha Solutions.
Okay. What kind of stuff are you going to be doing over there? We're gonna...
So I only have a few videos on there right now, just some stupid ones. I'm just now starting to dive into the YouTube world. I just recently got a GoPro. I still have to get a computer. But we're going to be putting some of my tactical shooting classes on there. I really don't know which direction the channel is going to go yet. I got to figure that out. I know I have an idea for a video that's coming up that I'm going to be collaborating with another professional out there, not in the tactical world. So I'm hoping by summer I'll have one of my first official videos up here. So right now I really don't know which exactly the direction the channel is going to go, but there'll be something on there. Some of the ones that are on there now are just little test videos, just trying to figure out how to use YouTube and see what the analytics are and how to work it all.
I killed Jared.
I'm still here. I'm good.
All right. Yeah, sounds good, man. I just wanted to give you a plug before we sign off here. So Stoker, he's out there hunting weather balloons right now. He had to drop off real quick. So that's it, guys. We're going to wrap this one up. And yeah, thanks for joining in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And season 2, I know I've been talking it up and promoting it a lot because this one, if you paid attention, it's going to be different. So episode 2, we're gonna ramp things up. You guys might see Brent get very uncomfortable pretty soon. So with that, we'll see you guys next week.